If you're over 30 and you feel like you haven't figured out life yet, like there's something you've missed or you're somehow behind, then trust me, you're not alone and you're certainly not broken. In this video, I want to talk about that lingering shame that so many of us carry. And I talk about it from the point of view as a trauma practitioner and somebody who's had deep lived and often painful experience of this feeling. That feeling that if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, that you should somehow have it all figured out. You should know the meaning of life. You should be somewhere. You should have strong roots already planted in the ground, unshakable. But what if all of that internal pressure is somehow the biggest part of the problem? Chasing that elusive clarity is actually stopping us from living in the moment, in the now. Well, in this video, I'm going to share where that pressure comes from, and just a little hint, it's not your fault. How trauma, and yes, we all carry some of it, actually conditions us to believe that we're somehow broken, somehow flawed, somehow not okay as we are. And the one powerful shift that helped me stop spiraling and start living again. So to start with, what does it even mean to have it figured out? I used to always believe that there was some magical age, some job title, some salary, some relationship status that meant that I was finally there, I'd made it, I was enough. I'd always look at other people, comparing myself and think, well, they have it, what's wrong with me? I'd suddenly feel like a failure or a fraud deep within myself. A deep shame. I remember when I was about 30, my girlfriend at the time, my partner, I had to move back in with my mum. And all of a sudden, I felt like I wasn't good enough for her. The relationship didn't last much longer anyway, but it just felt like, well, unless I had earned, 40, 50, 60,000 pounds and had my own home and was grounded and, went to the gym every day, then I hadn't made it. There was somehow, I was broken, I wasn't enough. But that pressure, that internal voice was never mine, and it's not yours. It's simply the voice of trauma, of society, of parents. And this idea that peace comes from achievement, from perfection, is a complete and utter lie. Because true inner, deep, long-lasting peace comes from accepting ourselves fully as we are, perceived warts and all. And if you're anything like me, to actually help you try and figure it all out, to achieve that thing, you become obsessed with systems, with life hacks, with productivity. Now, at the back end of 2022, I was diagnosed with stage 3 bowel cancer. And when I finally got the all clear several months later, I became obsessed with the idea that I should be somewhere else. I should be in the career that makes me happy. I should be further along. I should have broken free of the 9 to 5. I should be in a bigger house. I should have a nicer house. I should earn more money. And how crazy is that? I just survived cancer, and yet that pressure was still there, beating down on me. And I stumbled across this book, I think called 4,000 Weeks. And the premise is basically that if we're lucky, we only get 4,000 weeks on this planet. And if you're watching this and you are over 30, you're at least or coming up to halfway through that. And it hit me like a ton of bricks that all the productivity systems in the world won't extend our lifespan. There'll still be stuff to do because there is a finite amount of life that we have, but an infinite amount on our to-do lists. There's just simply no way that we could figure it all out. We'll never do it. If we live till we're 100, 1,000, 10,000, there's so much in this world, in this universe to understand and to know. It's impossible to find it. Because productivity can actually be a form of avoidance, a way to run from the truth that life is finite, it's uncertain, and it's unfinishable. And we can't possibly do it all. We can't possibly achieve everything that we want to and find that thing that will bring us peace. And if we're always chasing figured out, then we're actually missing the true point of life. So why does this pressure, this internal pressure, feel so personal, like it is ours? Well, in NARM, the neuroaffective relational model, and the Being Me therapy that I do, we talk a lot about this, about developmental trauma and this deep inner personal toxic shame that we feel that we're not good enough. We're not enough unless we somehow achieve X, Y, and Z. We actually grow up with looking at our own lives and ourselves with a broken pair of glasses. The lenses are cracked. We believe that unless we're achieving, unless we're performing, unless we get to this imaginary point, then we're not good enough as we are. We're somehow broken, we're unlovable, and we'll be rejected. And that is the painful truth, a deep fear of rejection. We become perfectionists, people pleasers, overthinkers. We become disconnected from ourselves, from our bodies, the world, the environment, and the people around us. We become disconnected from life itself, living in some imaginary future or regretting some long gone past. So afraid are we deeply of being seen, that we give off this impression to the world, to our friends, family, everyone we meet, that we're thriving, but yet somehow deep within us we're barely surviving. But trust me, as someone who's done the work deeply, painfully, and has helped countless others through it, you're certainly not broken. You just were born into a world where you weren't seen, where you were taught that it's not okay to be you, the true you, your genetic birthright, the person that you were born into this world to be was not okay. It wasn't safe enough to show up as that person. You had to split and show up as someone else, someone that you felt you had to be to get the love, to get the attention, to get everything that you needed in order to survive and thrive. But you can relearn how to slow down, to become more present, more aware, more connected with yourself, and then look at the shame of the past from a more adult, present, grown-up sense. And I don't say that in a patronizing way, but sometimes we respond to life as those scared children. But you're not. You are an adult in the present. I'm talking to you now. And you can just stop and look at those voices that you hear that says you should be further along in your journey. But where is the ultimate goal? Let me ask you that. And feel free to let me know in the comments below. When will you be enough? When will you be okay? When will you be there? When will you have found it? Trust me, you don't have to have it all figured out, and you probably never will. You just have to realize that in this moment, you're already enough, beautifully, perfectly as you are. Earlier, I shared how the book 4,000 Weeks stirred something deep within me, but there was something else. It took me over 30 years that gave me a profound, powerful shift into my own healing and understanding of who I am, and you can check that video out up here. I hope that's been useful. I hope that's helped. I really do. Have a beautiful day. Big love, John.